from beautiful Greenville, South Carolina. We've got Charlene with us, and Charlene is a busy, busy lady. So I'm so grateful she's with us tonight. She is a nurse, a mother, and a grandmother. So, Charlene, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us what your life was like before you were introduced to this technology and how it's been since.
So I have had low thyroid, hypothyroidism, probably my whole life, but I wasn't really diagnosed until my late 30s. And at that time, the physician said, "Oh, you don't need anything," which I did. And then in my mid 40s, I started on um, thyroid medication. But those of you who are low thyroid people, hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's. 95% of the people who have hypothyroidism actually have Hashimoto's. And those symptoms are, those of you who have it, you know what I'm talking about. It's extreme fatigue, and those words don't even match how tired you are. And if you actually do sleep, you wake up tired, and you have muscle weakness, brain fog. Like now that I've been on the patches, I'm like, can I have a redo? Can I raise my 7 kids now with a brain? Anyway, so some of the other symptoms are depression, anxiety. And I have to say the depression was a big one for me. Um, I've been an RN for 43 years, and I did a lot of my own research. So in my 50s, I started a autoimmune diet and lots of supplements to try to at least slow up the dying of the thyroid, because that's what they tell you. Once you get hypothyroidism, it's just going to continue to die. And it's like a roller coaster. It dies, you get on the meds, it continues to die, you
Oh,
continue to feel crummy. So anyway, when I was introduced to the patches, I just didn't know that it would actually work
you thought it
with the
sounded too good to be
thyroid.
true, huh?
I did. And so I was happy that it helped with sleep, and the brain fog lifted, and energy. The energy was a good thing. I feel like I've been trying to slug through life my whole life. I've been an RN, like she said, for 43 years. And 4 months into it, into the patches, I knew my thyroid was working. I could feel the difference. I was still on I was on desiccated thyroid hormone, but there's a difference when your body actually works. And so I went in, had my labs drawn, and my doctor calls and says, "Miss Pearson, your thyroid's working again. We got to cut back." He was very surprised because it was supposed to be dead this year. And so I was like, I knew this. So we cut back, and I had to go back in in less than 2 months. I was like, it's working. Something's going on. Drew levels again, cut back again. And I just this week went again, and I think my thyroid's completely regenerated, and my numbers are perfect without being on the medication. And he can't figure it out. He was like, you need to come back in 6 weeks. We need to see what's going on. And I'm just thrilled. I cannot explain how wonderful it is for my thyroid to be working. Thyroid hormone is in every cell of your body. It
Yeah.
affects everything. And so when it starts working again, everything is changed. And I cannot say how thankful I am for these patches. And that's just the thyroid. I have a whole bunch of other stuff that it helped. Oh,
Wow, wonderful. Gosh, I know just as since I've met you, you're broadhead and bushy-tailed is the best way to describe it. I mean, what a difference. And I didn't even, I mean, you faked it pretty well in the beginning. I mean, I must say you did. And now you're not faking that anymore. So just the exhaustion. And you lived this way for how many years?
I'm pretty sure I had low thyroid in my early 20s and was not
Wow.
diagnosed. I started the symptoms right away. And I'm 64.
God.
So
Oh my
I
gosh.
feel like I've
Yeah,
lived
yeah,
my
I
life
know.
kind of slugging through. But I'm happy, I'm thrilled now. And I'm excited to tell other people that we have it. We have the answer. You don't have to listen to your thyroid's going to slowly die, um,
Yeah,
or
you weren't
quickly, or
expecting that. And how you continued nursing feeling this way with just utter exhaustion, the brain fog, depression, the whole bit is beyond me. But you did it for a very long time, didn't you?
yes, that's okay now. I'm enjoying my 7 kids and my 15 grandchildren with energy and
Wow.
enthusiasm.
I don't think I realized you had 15 grandchildren, and I forgot that you had 7 children. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. So and you started patching how long ago?
A year ago, the end of July,
Okay. All right. So what, like 15 months
August, September, October, November. Yeah,
like that? Okay.
yes.
And Charlene, what patches did you use? And have you always used the same patches?
So pretty much X39 and Aeon. And I put glutathione on my liver. With my research, I was pretty sure that the liver is a root problem. And so
Mm-hmm.
glutathione, and I kind of knew that innately. And then I heard it somewhere recently, might have been at a conference, to put it on your liver. And Eon.
Okay.
I love Eon, not Eon, excuse me, Alavida. I love
Alavita.
Alavida.
Oh, yes.
And so
We
I
all
know you're
love
supposed to put
Alavita.
it on your
Yes.
forehead. So I put it on my forehead at first. And then
Okay.
people were saying, oh, it helps with your skin. I thought, well, I need a little help with the neck thing going on. Okay. And so I started putting it on my neck.
Okay. Right near the thyroid also.
Guess what's on your in your neck?
Oh,
And then
wow.
so, I guess I'm a little slow on the research here. I just was reading a little bit more on Alavida, how that helps the thyroid also. I'm like, oh my word.
You know,
Wonderful.
I'm
Dr. Jennifer,
thrilled.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Charlene, you made mention too, you started noticing things that that weren't even relative to really what you were trying to address. Can you share with everybody? Because I love this part because everyone experiences things that they didn't even think that they would. So can you let us know what that is?
Yes. Okay. So when I had COVID, you'd hear them announce in the news that COVID was settling in older people's knees. I actually thought they meant people their 80s, not 60s. So it settled in my knees, and I have never been overweight. I've always been underweight. My knees would not work. I mean, I could hardly walk. And my husband would make a joke, well, I'm just going to get you, a speedy wheelchair. I'm like, this is not funny. I don't see the humor in this. Well,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, less than a month on the patches, my knees were working. And I'm talking about going up and down the stairway like I'm a teenager. And it was that moment where
Less
it's
than a
not
month.
it's not like you take Tylenol and 30 minutes later you feel better. It was like looking back, like, oh my word, I'm going up and down the stairway like crazy. That was one big one. I had broke the side of my foot, I don't know, about a decade ago. So it always hurt, especially at night. You can never find the right position for your foot to be in, just that throbbing.
Mm.
That left. My eyesight is improving. Skin, hair. Well, you can see the decade that you get stuck in. My beautician, we don't call him that anymore, but anyway, she hadn't seen me for about a couple months because she'd had a baby. And when I came in, she kind of looked at me weird. And when I sat down, she touched my head, like they do. And she said, I thought you had a wig on. She said, you have so much hair. Your hairdresser knows your hair.
Yes.
So those are some of the things, and I'm probably forgetting some of the things. I don't know, a tooth that was, always aching, and you're kind of like, that left. I
Wow.
don't know. I love the patches. I cannot say how excited I am. I feel
Oh,
like I have a new lease on life.
yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's wonderful. Tell me about your eyesight, how it improved. Was it night vision, both, day
I,
vision?
I'm nearsighted, and so that's improving. And sometimes I don't even need my glasses on or contacts on, which is, I mean, I've worn glasses since I was 14.
Wow. Okay.
So
14, so
just
50 years worth of okay. Gosh.
thank you for the reminder.
Hey, you know what? You defy all the odds. I think I saw 500 jaws drop when you told your name, your age. So I think you
Yeah.
shocked everyone. Boy, these patches have been good to you.
Well,
I'm
you
so
look
thankful.
fabulous. I
Yeah.
mean, Dr. Jennifer, had she not say she was 64,
Yeah.
I mean, Charlene, say something.
Oh,
I want everyone to
memory.
see you.
The whole
Memory, that's
memory thing too. The whole memory thing is unbelievable that it's there. And before I was aware, I thought, oh, there's that thing starting to sneak up, that they talk about. It's back. And I don't know, I could talk about my parents, but I guess this was more about me, but my parents' memory is back amazingly.
Laura, do we have just just like 2 more minutes for
Yes, we
Charlene
do,
to talk
because
about her
he's
parents?
trying to get in. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, my dad was diagnosed with dementia 14 years ago, and my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 7 years ago, which means she had it before that.
Mm.
And she was in stage 5. And my brother's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to look for a facility? Well, I've been an RN for 43 years. That's kind of a no-go for me. And I said, okay, well, when that moment comes, I'll either move down there or move them in with me. And he was like, okay. So I started the patches, and they're actually not in the same state I'm in. And so I would FaceTime every morning and every night to put patches on. And let me tell you, it's a little bit of a challenge. Mom, open the envelope. Mom, just take that one patch. Mom, put it right there. Every step of the way. And I had put Alavida on my dad because he had had skin cancer and he had radiation on his scalp, and it actually was pulling away. It was
Mm.
terrible. I can't even tell you how terrible it was. So I got the Alavida because all I had heard was it helps with skin in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had an extra one for my dad. Well, at this point, okay, my husband was actually down there. It's kind of an odd situation, but anyway, and my husband calls me up and goes, what in the world? Your dad is up in the kitchen making his own sandwich, carrying on a conversation, telling me jokes. I'm like, really? So then my brother, who had been out of town for 3 months, when he came back, he calls me just about crying. And he says, Mom and Dad are back. He goes, what in the world are these little things?
They're back.
So I cannot tell you more than even me with my thyroid, my parents.
Oh, she froze.
Mm.
I'm so thankful. Anyway, one funny thing, I was with them at the doctor, and he says, and actually my mom didn't even know, okay. He says to them, we do all these lab work on you. Both of you have had chronic kidney disease. Um, and he said, well, the last 2 labs show that you don't have it anymore. So I can officially tell you you're cured. He said, I've never seen that happen.
Wow.
I just laugh. I'm just like, I just laugh because, if you start telling them about the patch, they just kind of look at you cross-eyed. But anyway, it's little things like that, not to
Yeah.
mention their memory coming back like this. Are they all the way better? No, but they are definitely on their way.
Yeah.
And I can't say, I can't even express in words how grateful I am. My brother and I were together with them for my mom's birthday this past April. No loops. Those of you who have family members with this, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
My mom stayed in loops, like we couldn't even carry on a conversation. You couldn't find anything out because it was the same thing, what time are we leaving? What time are we leaving? What time are we leaving? You just want to go.
Yeah.
At her birthday, all day and all night, sunset, no loops. She was
Wow.
right on.
And how
Everything
old are your
was right on.
parents?
83 and 84.
83 and 84. Okay. And what patches have you used for your parents?
X39 and Aeon and Alavida.
All
I
right.
first didn't have my mom on Alavida. And then when my dad had such improvement and I realized that it helps with the brain, then I got my mom on that right away too.
Okay.
So
Brilliant.
I guess we're probably done. I don't want to take the other person's time.
Well, you know what? You're good. And you've led me to ask you another question, if that's okay.
Sure.
Just because I'm curious, because I know you feel grateful and I know you feel extremely blessed. And being a nurse, right? And here
Yes.
you embark on something of this nature, if you will,
Yeah.
right? Like, tell me about that. Like,
Oh,
what does
okay.
that look like to you?
So, for me, I realized conventional medicine early on had its big errors, but I still had a foot there.
Mhm.
So when I went to the first class that Dr. Jennifer taught, and she's, talking about the science of it, and I just could not wrap my brain around it. It was too much. It just did not make sense. And then the testimonies, I said to my daughter, said, okay, we're in the twilight zone because this does not happen. April Vaughn's testimony and a couple of other people, I was like, this does not happen. And so I said, okay, fine. I'll order it myself and see. And I did my research and I listened to David Schmidt probably for 2 weeks. I mean, literally everything he has on there, I listened and listened and listened. And it just finally was like, oh my word, you're making this too hard. It's light therapy that's regenerating your stem cells. That's so simple if you could just wrap your brain around it. So it was a moment for me. But I've been kind of disappointed with conventional medicine anyway, but you still have that thinking in there. So
Well, I think the thing is, and a lot of us go here, and Dr. Jennifer, I think this is going to segue into you go ahead and getting into the science and tech. But you were on thyroid medication from such an early age of your life. And here you are at the amazing age of 64 years young, and a place that you never thought you would be, right?
right, I feel like I'm now finally ready to live life.
Boom. That's what I was. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, oh my gosh, thank you. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
you're very welcome.